Codd Sinclair back again for another episode of the Quick Count. Today is Wednesday, December 16th, 2020. Today we are taking a look at WWE, ECW, December to Dismember 2006. And from that show, we will be taking a look at the main event, which is the Extreme Elimination Chamber match. We will get to all the good stuff. I want to go ahead and get this started so we're not wasting any of your time. And here we go. Where to start with WWE ECW? There's a lot to talk about here during the course of this 24-minute match. Ew. That even seems long for me. So this was the one and only pay-per-view that WWE ECW held. Fix this. We're not missing much on the show at the moment. They are going through the Elimination Chamber rules. The difference with this and a normal Elimination Chamber match is that that each pod has a weapon in it. So when you are released, your weapon is also released, so you can use it. It's kind of, it's fine, but at this point they've already switched the ECW logo over. They've also made this into the set design for everything is already the same. So this show is widely regarded as one of the worst WWE pay-per-views of all time. First out is the champion, the ECW champion, The Big Show. So, just some backstory on this pay-per-view. When this pay-per-view kicked off, only 2 matches were booked. Only 2 matches were on paper. The Big Show is listed at 500 pounds here. He is easily at his heaviest weight here. I believe, and this is reports, that he was upwards of 560 around this point, which, after watching all of the World War III's, as the giant in those, he is a shell of his former self. So the matches, we have the Hardy Boys, which were not on the ECW roster, defeated M&M. I'm not really sure if they were on ECW still or if they had already transitioned to SmackDown. Balls Mahoney defeated Matt Striker in a Strikers Rules match. We had Elijah Burke and Sylvester Turkai defeating the FBI. Daivari defeated Tommy Dreamer. And Ariel and Kevin Thorne defeated Kelly Kelly and Mike Knox. Special guest is back. Who's that? That's you. Yeah. So I will get to the bigger storyline of this pay-per-view and the main event when we get to said competitors' entrance for the main event. The heavy favorite in this is CM Punk. He's been an ECW mainstay for a little while. Here, I'm going to put it down. along with being a mainstay at ECW for a little while, he, with his reputation in Ring of Honor, even TNA, carrying that over, this is his time. People are calling this his time to win the quote unquote big one. But this is absolutely regarded, as I said, as one of the worst pay-per-views in company history. There's a reason why it's the only one. This pay-per-view caused Paul Heyman to leave WWE for a brief period of time. Obviously, he is with Roman Reigns here in 2020. So yeah, we got CM Punk out now in a pod. The Big Show is in a pod. Oh my gosh. Oh, a young John Cone. Excellent. Here's the problem with ECW. It was never meant for this. And what I mean by this is, the big arenas, the big flashy lights. It was always in some sort of ballroom or bingo hall. And that was the allure of it. This is a test. Jesus. If Test is 285, then I'm also 285. That's oh my gentle Jesus. So it's very funny that this happened. That we're talking about him being 285 because he's not. He was suspended at the end of January for a wellness violation and then requested his release. Big Show clapping for Test. Don't know why. Test would go on to work in TNA and then the Indies for a little bit before his untimely death at the age of 34. So Test is in the pod with a crowbar. CM Punk's weapon is a steel chair. And I did not catch the Big Show, so we'll circle back when I can see it. Here comes Bobby Lashley, who, if you're saying Bobby Lashley, ECW champion, it makes no sense. This was still the time when ECW was not the developmental brand that it would eventually become, where you had Tiffany as the general manager and so on and so forth. This is essentially, he is the John Cena of this particular brand. He is a genetic freak. He's still young. Crazy to think we're reviewing this in 2020. And this match was in 2006. So 14 years later, Bobby Lashley in WWE, United States champion. So now the last two competitors will be the first two to start the match out, as Bobby Lashley is now in his pod with the table. Oh boy. So, Big Show might have the barbed wire baseball bat then. You don't have to hold the weapon the whole time, Test. Okay? CM Punk chants. Ah. There we go. So, Hardcore Holly. This is this is when things really start to hit the fan. So Hardcore Holly replaced Sabu storyline because somebody attacked Sabu backstage and would not be able to compete in the main event. In real life, the rumor was that Sabu had some backstage heat due to not really putting in the effort at the television tapings. WWE higher-ups viewed Sabu as being useless in normal matches and said that he could only perform in matches that included stunts and tables, and there was no respect for him because of that. Vince wanted to put Hardcore Holly in Sabu's place, so Lashley would have more villains to overcome. Paul Heyman was legitimately unhappy with the decision, saying that Sabu's high-flying wrestling would be the ideal showcase inside the Elimination Chamber. That couldn't be more correct by Paul Heyman. Also, Rob Van Dam is the sixth competitor. We will get to him in just a second. Pop for Rob Van Dam, pop for CM Punk. Everybody else, just nothing. So Rob Van Dam started with Hardcore Holly. So after this match, Heyman was removed from the creative team. Eventually would try, and this is not rumor, this is actually true stuff here. Heyman was then blamed for what had gone on and the booking decisions on the show, which obviously were not true. So originally, and if this spoils the match for you, I apologize. But considering this is one of the worst pay-per-views of all time, I think you can forgive me. Heyman wanted to give this to CM Punk so bad. And Punk mentions that in the his pipe bomb in 2011. That Heyman saw something in him. So I want to make sure you get this right. Heyman saw something in me that nobody else wanted to admit. And at the time, they were totally correct. Punk was the hottest thing. He could be anything you wanted him to be. And that's... hung himself on the top rope after jumping from the chamber. Yes, there have been some rumors as of late in 2020 that, due to what CM Punk had said in an interview, that, It's got to be the right amount of money, which means a lot of dough, and then the right storyline. So probably not WWE. But with that being said, I might be one of the only few people to really not want CM Punk back in a wrestling ring. The allure is gone. Okay, he hasn't been in a professional wrestling match since Royal Rumble 2014. Oh, scoop slam onto the steel floor there on the outside of the ring in the chamber. So by the time January 2021 comes, it'll be 7 full years since he's worked a professional wrestling match. Now he's been at StarCast. He's done other wrestling ventures. And would Punk be a draw? Probably. But since he's left WWE, he's had an embarrassing run with the UFC. He's teased his return probably more than the average wrestling fan. Oh, innovative offense from Rob Van Dam. Rolling Thunder jumping over the top rope onto Hardcore Holly on the outside on that steel floor. Yeah, so I'm not really interested in seeing CM Punk. Now, it's crazy because Sting just came back a few weeks ago on AEW. Everybody marked out, everybody popped, and here we are waiting to see what Sting will do next. I think, though, with that, it's just a touch different. We have been expecting Sting to come to AEW at some point. The commentary team had been making a lot of remarks comparing Darby Allin to Sting. So I'm very excited to see what Sting can bring to AEW, whether it be in a commissioner-esque role. I don't think it's safe for him to be in a wrestling match. I mean, heck, he almost didn't walk out of the last one he had. So back to the Elimination Chamber really quick because we're getting ready to get a new entrant. Beautiful dropkick by Hardcore Holly. I'll get to him in a second as well. As we tick down, we're inside of 10 seconds. And Hardcore Holly's a very serviceable worker. The problem is that you replace Sabu with him. Let's see who is next. Huge roar from the crowd from CM Punk. Ooh, threw the chair right in Hardcore Holly's face. Huge springboard clothesline onto Rob Van Dam. Listen, hear the crowd. This was the time. Oh, very unexpected because this is WWE in 2006. I'm not sure if they really banned the headshot with the chair at this point, but Punk threw the chair to Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam launched it right back at his skull. And monkey flip onto the... It was a monkey flip out of the corner. But it's like Punk just kind of somersaulted onto the chair. Ooh. Punk and Rob Van Dam working very well together here. Yeah, Hardcore Holly much more service worker, but when you replace on an ECW pay-per-view, you replace Sabu with Hardcore Holly, who has been Sparkplug Bob Holly, Oh, and Rob Van Dam was busted open. But when you replace an ECW legend with somebody who is not really an ECW legend, yeah, you're gonna hear about it. Man, he is. That might not be a blade. Oh, that might not be a blade job. Oh. And Hardcore Holly catches Punk, throws him right into the side of the chamber. Oh, Hardcore Holly going for a pin. Punk kicks out. Ooh, big sidewalk slam. Rob Van Dam has had multiple chances within WWE's umbrella to be bigger than in this ECW championship match. As we're within 2 minutes from a new entrant. Yeah, this Rob Van Dam within the first month that he beat John Cena at One Night Stand would be pulled over by police and had a substantial amount of marijuana in his vehicle. I can't remember which One Night Stand that was. Maybe it was this one leading up to this. So I might be telling the future here a little bit. So yeah, that is actually what's coming down the pipe here. But yeah, super reliable worker, super great in the ring. Big superplex from Hardcore Holly. RVD. Oh no. Oof. All three men down right now. Ooh, Hardcore Holly goes for a pin on Punk. Thank God he kicked out. This crowd would have been livid. Ooh. Ooh, running in the corner by Punk, followed by, kick to the face by RVD. Who is coming in next? And it is Test with the crowbar. Oh, right to the ribs of Punk. Test using the crowbar right in the forehead of Rob Van Dam. How do you think Joey Styles feels during the late 90s, early 2000s? I apologize. In the late 90s, early 2000s, ECW commentary and watching those matches, and then doing this. Oh. Man. RVD wearing a crimson mask, as Jim Ross would say. Yeah, that was bad. RVD had a charity hit Test in the head, but he got his arms up and his hands out too far. So there was a huge gap. Drop kick to the face of CM Punk with that chair. RVD up to the top. CM Punk writhing in pain. And, oh no. RVD 5-star frog splash. He has got to make his way over. 2, 3. The Boo Birds are out. There's Test. Oh, big boot to Hardcore Holly. 2. Wait, is that a... Wait. What just happened? Oh, RVD from the top. So Test went for the pin. He had ref counted 2, never counted 3. Holly never got his shoulder up. and now Hardcore Holly's eliminated. So Rob Van Dam on top of the Big Show's pod, trying to pull him through that steel grating at the top. But Test has a chair, and hit Rob Van Dam twice, and oh my God, pulls him off. Test now has the chair on RVD's face. Oh God. Up to the top of the pod. Oh, big elbow drop. 1, 2, 3. Wow. So we are... So it's funny though, because I was just saying earlier that that Vince did it so that there would be essentially more baddies for Bobby Lashley to go up against. But yet we've already lost Hardcore Holly. And then you have Test, who has been a lifetime mid-carder. And then the Big Show, as I previously stated on this episode, is severely overweight. So, what's the play here? So Test now recovering in the ring. Countdown clock now to about 35 seconds. Listen, I can tell you right now, the Big Show is not coming out of that pod. And Bobby Lashley's coming out of this pod next. As the flickering lights go back. Come on. Yeah, it's Bobby Lashley. I could have told you that. Oh. So, Heyman's security force threw the ref into the steel steps, and now they are keeping Lashley locked in here. So Lashley's trying to get out. Oh, no. So, hold on. So Lashley's trying to use a table The wooden pre-cut WWE table. Come on. He just broke the chain off of the top of his pod. Big clothesline, but Tess just standing there waiting for him for seconds on end. So I was correct. I wanted to search and just make sure. The Heyman security force is Doug and Danny Basham, the Basham brothers. Yeah. Let's just use anybody we got. Why not? Lashley throwing Tess from pillar to post through into these plexiglass pod walls. Yeah. We've got 3 minutes until the Big Show is released from his pod with the barbed wire baseball bat. Now, remember what I said at the beginning of this. This match is only 24 minutes. So, once the Big Show is released from his pod, we will be at the 20-minute mark. How do you think Taz feels? Tess has a chair and gets it kicked into his face. We are now at the 2-minute mark. And this crowd is completely dead. Big suplex by Lashley. Oh. Lashley had the crowbar. Test had the chair. Spear by Lashley on Test. 1, 2, 3. Test is eliminated. We get Lashley versus the Big Show now, essentially for the ECW Championship. That's exactly what you wanted from this main event, right? Sabu replaced. CM Punk eliminated. Rob Van Dam eliminated. Big Show, one of the last 2 members. I don't know what is. What's the end game? I don't understand this. So now, for some reason, Lashley threw the weak pre-cut wooden table the WWE makes at the Big Show's pod, threw the steel chair at the pod. We are now down to 10 seconds. Lashley's got the chair again. Big Show coming out with a barbed wire baseball bat. Remember, I said he's around 560 at this point. So yeah, of course, they're not going to keep this going much longer. That barbed wire that looks fake AF. Now, having come off of, and Lashley using the steel chair as a shield as the Big Show hammers away with that barbed wire bat. we're coming off of Barbed Wire Massacre from TNA Turning Point 2005. Oh. And now Lashley taking it to Big Show. And the referee pulls the bat, the barbed wire baseball bat, out of the chamber. Why? Why? It's not your job. Just officiate the match. Oh, Big Show bladed. He's busted open. Lashley throws him through the pod door. And listen, there's not a lot of movement here. Ugh. So up and Show throws Lashley right into the ring. Big Show looks super gassed. He's only been in the match for a couple minutes. Big clothesline from Show. It's crazy though. He's calling for a chokeslam. So after this match, he was going to take time off anyway to heal from some injuries. WWE let his contract expire. He did not come back to the E until February 2008. Lashley reverses the choke slam into a DDT. Yeah. The other reason for him taking time off is to lose some weight. I mean, that's as polite as I can put it. Lose weight. What you're doing is not okay. Show misses the splash in the corner. Oh. Lashley tries to cross body. Big Show's got him up for a power slam. Misses. Off the ropes. Spear to the Big Show. 1, 2, and 3. A half count. It's a half count. I've already gone through most of the reasons why I just despise this match. I'm giving it a half count because there was a good amount of violence in it. They didn't have the Big Show retain his title. But just overall, I think it speaks volumes that this was the only pay-per-view WWE ECW ever ran. It's frustrating because this could have been so much more. You could have given it to Punk, Rob Van Dam. You could have kept Sabu in the frickin' match. But yet, here we are. Lashley's holding up an the classic, the original ECW World Heavyweight Championship at the end of a WWE produced pay-per-view in 2000. The frick did this pay-per-view happen? Jeez, got me all riled up. 2006. Okay, I knew I was right. And actually, I was incorrect earlier because Rob Van Dam had already competed at One Night Stand 2006. So if you guys are looking for comments to say, oh, you're wrong, Codd, well, there you go. Oh, we get all that pyro to end the show. So that is it for this episode of the Quick Count. Check out all of our links in the description box below. My name is Codd Sinclair, and we will see you next time.